Oh, I don't know. Yeah, we are live now. Hi,
Soul Squad in the house. I've just popped in to say hi as well because I haven't been here this week. Welcome to Donna and Cheryl TV with the Soul Squad without Cheryl, and it's fucking Friday. Hallelujah. Yes. That's all I've got to say about that. There's going to be lots of swear words today, lots of coffee, lots of swear words. And honestly, if I didn't have a call this afternoon, there could have been a glass of wine.
Fair enough.
How's everybody doing? Let me know, guys, when you join us live. Let me know, drop a comment, say hi, give me a little emoji. And tell me, how are you feeling on this fabulous Friday? I don't know if you can see the northeast of England, the sun is shining. It's absolutely beautiful here today.
I know. I've had to close my curtain because it looked like the side of my head was angelic.
Which would be true. And we just need to say before we do anything else, big happy birthday Boxing Day today to Yvette. Yay! Birthday. Is that you, Marlene? Just got in from work. It's not showing me who it is. Hi, Brooke. Hi. On top of the world. Love that.
Good.
I love that. So how was the birthday, Yvette?
Yeah, a lot quieter than I'm used to. Because normally we were at a live gig having a little bit of a mosh or something, but that's fine. It was absolutely lovely. We went to I'll tell you what happened. Talk about like amazing customer service, right? So Agatha, our beautiful camper van, who we love dearly,
that's her name.
Yeah. So she went in for her MOT last week, and anyway, brakes needed doing and whatever. So we put her in for the brakes, and I'd been dealing with it, but then for whatever reason, Colin had picked her up. And I said to him, did they give you the MOT certificate? And he said, no. And I went, oh. And I looked on the DVLA and they hadn't retested her. So I messaged them on Facebook. And bearing in mind, I messaged these guys when in Yvette time, which is like midnight. And there's always one guy on and he's like, oh yeah, I'm really sorry about that. Can you bring it back this week? And I was like, yeah, cool. I've sort of got the day off on Thursday. It's my birthday. And he was joking around saying, oh, we'll get the cakes in. Anyway, I turned up at Thai Shack. And this guy comes barreling in going, I've got you cakes, happy birthday, in front of the whole, like all of the mechanics, all of like the reception. And I'm like, from ear to hear, but it was so lovely.
That is so lovely. Because you expect, like if you go to, like when I go to the fancy schmancy showroom, it's not fancy schmancy, but the Honda showroom is lovely in Newcastle. And they'll always give me nice coffee and they always give me a desk to work at. And they'll always go, actually, Donna, we know you're on calls. Do you want a private office? And they'll put me in an office for the to work. But like, just like things like going to a garage and someone giving you a cake, like you wouldn't expect it. I think that's the thing, is like it's unexpected, isn't it? Which is so lovely. And when you're spoiled, Yvette?
I was very spoiled, yeah. So my lovely little Colin knows that I've been working since I launched this business on my teeny tiny laptop. So he's bought me actually, I don't know if you can see it, a little screen. Oh no, a screen. Oh, you can't really see it. Yeah. He got me a little screen and he got me the Hinch books because I'm obsessed with Mrs. Hinch. And he got some of my tropic stuff for my face.
What's Mrs. Hinch?
Oh my God, do you not know her? Oh,
even I know Mrs. Hinch, and I never ever do any housework ever.
Oh, is she a cook or something?
No, she's awesome. She's got this Essex accent. She's brilliant. And she got famous through putting these crazy videos on like cleaning hacks. I don't actually follow any of the cleaning hacks, but she's just so she's so inspirational. She had a real story of being trolled on the internet quite a lot. And she's come out with her memoirs and saying how that really affected her. And because people started like not attacking like physically, but attacking her little boy when he was born as well, and how she sort of overcame that. And she's just so inspirational. She's such a lovely woman.
But did you say you bought your book is it about cleaning?
No, it's her memoirs, so don't worry.
Right. I was thinking, like, I mean, I got really excited once with a frying pan from Neil because I like cooking, but I was thinking I don't understand a book about cleaning hacks. Like,
no,
I'd like put it in the grave with the book.
Oh, whoever the Facebook user is saying, having been hinching this morning to deal with the current situation. I wonder who that is. Is that Tina maybe?
Who is it? I don't know. Who is it? Is it you, Thomas? Oh no, Thomas isn't here, is he? Mel, so how has your week been then? Yvette's been celebrating and working very hard on a very important campaign coming to you soon. What have you been up to, my love?
Yeah, my week has been lovely. I'm not sure what's going to happen in my life after today, really, because the project that I've been working on for the last 14 months that has driven me to the brink and back has kind of come to an end.
Ooh.
So,
How
and
does
I'm
that
still
feel?
alive. I don't know, really. You kind of hate it the whole time you're doing it, and then as soon as it's gone, you're like, oh, what am I going to do now? So,
Feel like having kids.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I don't know. Wait and see.
Oh.
And obviously trying to enjoy a romance in lockdown, which is interesting.
Let's just say Mel is not keeping a social distance.
Did you say he
I
was
am
Scorpio
not.
too?
Say that, should I really?
Sorry, Zach.
Is he a Scorpio too, Mel, did you say?
Yeah, it's his birthday on Monday.
So you're a Scorpio, he's a Scorpio, you met in Scorpio season, the
Wow.
new moon in Scorpio. Wow. Just get some Vaseline is all I'd say.
It's not, sorry.
I said get some Vaseline is all I'd say. I'm so sorry.
Hey, you mean it?
I love it. Like, if you've just joined us, we do talk about things other than sex, but generally speaking, not on a Friday.
No, it's become a bit of a theme, hasn't it, on a Friday?
I know.
Totally.
Well,
Right,
how are
so
you
tell us about
your non-sleeping, Donna, by the way?
Right, yeah, and there's something else I want to talk to you about. So my non-sleeping, so I don't need a huge amount of sleep, and this is what again, how we always talk about that there's a meaning to something when you put a story around it. And what I realized was about 2 days ago, I am seeing the story of I'm shattered, I'm not getting enough sleep. And then I was like, right, okay, challenge yourself on that. What is different? And what I realized was I'm going to bed at the same time and getting up at the same time. There's no difference. I usually go to bed about 11:30, 12 o'clock anyway. And then you usually get up at 6 o'clock-ish anyway, which I'm doing. So that straight away altered my perception of how I'm saying the sleep deprivation. Now, don't get me wrong, it is tiring. But then I was like, right, okay, so why do I feel more tired than usual? And what I've realized is it's because my self-care isn't happening. Because whilst I'm going up at the same time, Gabby's crying and I can't meditate while she's screaming. And then on the morning, I'm not getting up and meditating and listening to some Gabrielle Bernstein or Neville Goddard or whatever else I'd be listening to. I'm getting up and cleaning shit. So energetically, it's that I'm not filling the bucket with the things that give me energy and keep me in alignment and balance. Now, obviously, I'm trained to be a spiritual practitioner, right? So looking at my purpose and seeking the truth of who I am is what I do. It's like how I know how to be. So meditation's a big part of that, and just even if it's like walking meditation or whatever, do you know what I mean? So it's so that's what I've realized is the causing my energy to be out probably more so than the sleep. And then I realized equally that was putting the story into. I guess I'm like calling Gab. I'm like, God, she's been a nightmare. I'm like, I'm giving energy to her being a nightmare. So yesterday I just kept saying, she's such a good girl. She's bedding in. You know, people were giving us advice, and I'm like, she's a great dog. It's just this thing. We're gonna nail it. Da, da, da. And last night I put her in a crate, and she didn't whimper.
Oh wow! Oh, that's so good.
The power of mind, right? So we've really got to, whatever that story is, when we're going through these periods of telling ourselves that we feel a certain way, like hearing it, like how that was making us feel worse than the thing itself. So yes, of course, I'm a little bit tired, but I was tired before Gabby because I'm studying and working, and we're kind of doing all this project with Yvette as well. So it's, you know, it just gives a different perspective. And once you've got a different perspective, you can have a different insight and you can declare something different. Because if I'm just declaring I'm exhausted all the time, then I'm going to be more exhausted, right? So yeah,
that's so true. That's so
I remember you talking to me about that, Donna, when I was talking about being really stressed at work and stressed and the language that I was using about, you know, I've just got to get
I've got to get through it. It's just a shit time. It's
and you reframe that and you kind of go, it's busy, we're making progress, we're doing well, and it absolutely changes everything. It really does.
100%. So now I'm like, I'm a day nearer to being happy in a crate. I'm a day nearer to being totally potty trained. I'm a day nearer to like her just feeling more part of this family. And I swear to God, even Neil said yesterday, like, our behavior was so different today. And I'm like, That's because I'm thinking it into existence, people. You're welcome. My mum just walked in, she bit my mother's ear off, but we'll that's just by the by. So yeah. And Becky's just saying her smartwatch totally transformed. No, I know. What I learned from my smartwatch was that my first hour and a half of sleep's really critical. Like I go in, like I'm dead. Like I get into bed. I know I go to bed late, but I'm like dead for like the first hour and a half, hour 45. So and when I thought about it, when I first had Caleb, that first feed, like, the midnight, like the 12 one, if I went to bed at 11, I always found that was horrific, but I could get up through the rest of the night just fine with him. And I think that's why.
I'll be back.
Okay. I just go to bed and I'm like, boom. So what about you, Eva? How much sleep do you need? Like, how does that work?
So I function on very little sleep, if I'm honest, a lot of the time.
If you're like me, we're often like messaging each other about like ideas and creative stuff really late, right?
Yeah, my creative head goes at the end of the day, which is crazy. I think the thing for me is that as long as I know that I've got a lot, like I love to have a little bit of a lay-in on just one day of the weekend. So if I can have a real late lay-in on one of the days of the weekends, I tend to be all right for the rest of the time. So I get like five, maybe 6 hours sometimes, and I'm okay with that. I'm not great in the mornings, and again, that's a story. But I was saying the other day that it's just a real acceptance that I've read. Oh God, what is that book? The 5 a.m.
Miracle Morning.
Yeah, Miracle Morning, The Miracle Equation, the other one, the Hal Elrod one as well, or was that
Hal Elrod's The Miracle Morning? Then there's Robin Sharma's 5 a.m. Club.
That's it. Yeah. So I've listened to those probably 3 or 4 times over, and I have gone through periods where I've done that, and I've been able to get up and do stuff like that. But it's only stuff I can only sort of do stuff that is beautiful to me at that time in the morning. I can't do anything that's actually of any use to anyone else.
Yeah. So it would weird that we're speaking about this though, because literally I was just speaking to one of our one-on-one clients in her call this morning, and she was saying, because she's one of those people that really believes, she's got a master's in positive psychology, she really likes to embody and live. She's an HR director. She's super, super talented young woman. And she said, like, I don't read a book, I do the book, right? So people kept in this group she's in talking about the 5 a.m. club, and she's like, look, if I read it, I've got to do it. So she's been, and she didn't want to, she had real resistance. And I thought, look, just give it a go. And she said, like, I'm literally a weekend, it's changed my life. She said, I'm getting up at 5 and I'm only doing that, like something that makes me feel good. So it might be that I read for the hour, or I might do some yoga. I'm not doing like 20, like sticking to a formula. But she said, I literally feel, and she's going to bed about 9 o'clock at night. She said, I literally feel like my day is transformed. Like I'm in such a good space mentally. And I thought, it's one of those things, isn't it? We can't knock it till we try it.
Yeah.
But like I've always said, I love my 6 till 7 is like my time when I get myself sorted and I listen to something, I read something, or I don't tend to journal, but I'll meditate. And now I've just got to accept the fact that routine is a little bit different. So now I've got more the energy, rather than going, well, I can't meditate, of right, so what can I do with what I've got right now? And that's what I'm now looking at to see what I can do over the weekend. It's different, but it is what it is for now until we settle in a routine. So
I've started doing that Bob Proctor abundance one in the morning, and I'm not putting any pressure on myself to sit and in meditative with mudras and all the rest of it. I will just lie in bed and listen to that, and I do stay awake for it, and it's fine, but that's how I start my day. I just plug that in every morning, and it's before I've thought anything else. So there's no, but you know what though, that whole habit of, I hadn't realized how entrenched it was. The minute I get up normally, so I've been doing this consistently now, the Bob Proctor one, I think I'm on my 15th day. I think I'll have a look on my calendar in a minute. And I made a commitment to myself to do that, because I've been getting up, and I'm telling you, I get up to go for a wee first thing in the morning, and I've got my phone, and I think, I'll just check my WhatsApps while I'm doing that. And then by the time I kind of, if it's too early or whatever, I'll go back to bed, and then I'll think, I'm gonna get up, and then it's straight on to like, Facebook messages, emails, And I didn't think I was that person, but I absolutely am.
What a great insight.
Insight. It's movement with me. That's the thing that I do. Get up at 6 and I'm out of bed either running or doing something in the house. That's kind of, that sets me up for the day. And then it's almost like the days that I don't do that, there's a reason for it. And it's usually either because I've got the kids, or it's a hair wash day that takes twice as long, or something like that. But for the most part, it is like up and moving. But I'm getting into a bit of a bad habit in the night at night now, because I will start to feel really sleepy at about 9:30, and then I won't go to bed at 9:30, and then I get a second wind, and then it'll be midnight, and that's really bad, because then I'm cutting out sometimes I'm putting the light off and I'm looking at my clock going, that's 2 hours less sleep you're going to get already. But sometimes if I did go to bed at 9:30, I feel like I haven't had an evening, because it's just been kind of, mostly when I've got the kids, it's like getting from work, sort the kids out, have something to eat, wash up, get the uniforms ready. Then it's like 9 o'clock. I'm like, if I go to bed now, I haven't had any night time.
No, I know what you mean. But that's why I'm a bit of a bugger, because by the time, especially now Caleb's a little bit older, it's like by the time it's like 8 o'clock she goes to bed, and then I'm usually busy working or doing something, and then it's like I need to have my night. So I will sometimes sit when I'm quite tired, but then I always forget how long it takes us to actually get to bed by the time I go, and I like cleanse my face and put nice creams on, and then do my journaling, do my gratitude. So it takes like an hour for me deciding to go to bed, hitting the pillow, and that's the bit I always underestimate.
But this is where the scheduling is going to come in. I talked about that on my call, didn't I, this week? And looking ahead to the week, and kind of going, right, well, you've got the kids on those nights, so maybe those nights you won't get to sit and watch telly. Maybe, on those nights, in advance, you'll be going to bed earlier with a book, because my reading has fallen away completely. Because by the time I go to bed and I start reading, I'm literally 2 pages in, and I'm asleep, and then I can't remember what I've read. So I think you were talking, Donna, about purpose. And my challenge to myself over the next week is to really think about what I'm doing with purpose. And instead of going, oh, I've got to go to bed early, like I'm going to bed early in my lovely room where it's really quiet and peaceful, and I'm going to read a really good book, instead of watching telly, because I'll feel there for it. So I'm going to practice this week, but really not just about what I'm going to do, but why I'm going to do it, and how good I'm going to feel. So just taking it that next layer down.
Love it. Love it. I love that. It's real intentional behavior.
And that will include, on Friday night, I'm going to open a bottle of wine, and I'm going to have a drink, and I'm going to love it. It's going to make me feel fab. Instead of going,
can I just tell you though, honestly, this week, and we have weeks where there's just amazing things that I can't describe.
Oh, I've got someone at the door now. We'll be back.
Okay. Obviously, what we do is talk about mind and how the power of your mind influences, like, everything in your life is an outpicturing of thought, right? We know this. It's like fact, and nobody will ever convince me otherwise. So this week, some of the client wins that have been coming through, things that clients have been consciously wanting to manifest and put their energy on, their intention on, and they've been insane. So obviously Brooke joined the elite group this week, which is just amazing. I know that's been a massive goal of Brooke's, to work with us as a coaches and with you guys as a community for a while now. So that was absolutely unbelievable. We got a message off one of our other clients saying she had this whole thing about not wanting, she loves a house, but there was this piece of land at the back, and if somebody bought the piece of land, it was going to be a nightmare. And then so a while ago, we were like this thing, well, what would you like? Ideally, she's like, well, I'd buy the land, and then I'd never have to move. Then the land comes up for auction like a week ago.
No way.
She's got the land. So she's now got then our other clients bought, like, literally within the last 2 weeks, bought a house overlooking the sea. Like, literally total dream house. Like, she's like, I can't believe it. And then she got they found something in the house, and the date of the house that was like purchased is the date of their wedding anniversary. And when they looked, there was like a key fob thing on it And I swear to God, the numbers are in a way that it actually looks like it's a surname. It's off decades ago. Like, it's just insane, like the synchronicity.
Oh,
Wow, love
Another
it.
client landed with massive deal in the States. Like, they're a UK Northeast based company, and they've landed a deal in the States, got signed yesterday, and then won another deal, which is like a global deal with a global brand. She's like, I can't believe, like, literally, like, and there's just all these things happening. Another client's manifested a board. I was just like, all these things. And it just reinforces the whole time this belief that when you work with us, or when you work with yourself, or with a book, or with a journal, I don't give a shit who, when you get conscious about what you want and you start commanding that in, it has no choice but to show up for you. All you have to do is say it with conviction and believe it and hold it in your mind, then let it go, and it happens. And it's happening time and time and time again to our clients. And it's just like so exciting to say. Like, every day I get up and I've got a different message from someone telling us something like completely mind-blowing.
It's so like, oh, it's just brilliant, isn't it?
Isn't it?
I think it's sort of having all those people in your life as well, when you're kind of like, and it's even the little things. I've started back with the gratitude for little things as well, not just the great big things, because there were so many big things happening. And last week when I was saying about flowers for the house, and Wendy corrected me, and she's like, no, flowers for yourself. And I was like, I love being surrounded by flowers. And literally for my birthday, there's flowers everywhere. And that was what the door was. There's more flowers. So, which is just lovely. And, you know, and I was like, oh, okay, I know it was my birthday, but I totally manifested that. People didn't have to send me flowers, you know?
Yeah. But equally, and it's really funny, because one of the girls who's in our program, the practitioner program, had been talking about the fact she'd been mourning, she'd moved house, and she was like, God, like, for car parking, it's like $500 and and like, I'm going to have to, like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Then has a car accident, and the car's a write-off, and they're like, well, literally, you'd have to buy a new car.
Whoa.
So you just got to be really careful, like, when you're saying, like, what am I going to do? Like, there's no, I've got a car, like, right, okay, well, we'll take the car. Like, clearly you don't want the car. So so you're going to be intentional with your thoughts. And I read something the other day that I would share with you guys, which is from a book called Science of Mind, which is one of the key books that I have to study as part of my practitioner program, written by a man called Ernest Holmes in the early 1900s, mid 1900s. And what he says is, it's not enough just to not think negative thoughts. You have to, like, with purpose, plant the seed and think the positive thoughts. And this is what I'm saying, everyone today, like, listen to those stories that yourself, listen to like where you kind of criticize in your life, and don't just be neutral and not think them. Think good thoughts, plant good seeds, plant the things that you want to grow in your garden. Otherwise, you know, it's as easy to grow a poisonous plant as a beautiful plant. So plant the really good stuff that you want to see bloom.
Well, this is what I was talking about on our call this week, was about the fact I feel like I've had so much input. So the kind of thing you've just been talking about there, Donna, and I'm starting to hear the same thing now and come across the same thing. But what hasn't changed is me putting that into absolute action. So a while ago, I wrote down a few manifestations for the business, but I haven't revisited them. They're not part of a daily practice or even a weekly practice. Same with the money mindset workshop. Fantastic tips in there. I started off doing a little bit, and it's fallen by the wayside. It's about getting these habits in almost invisibly into your day. Like Yvette, you are the person who checks WhatsApp on the loo, and you do that without thinking. I need to be doing that with my manifesting. It needs to be,
I don't know, like,
my day, I don't even notice.
One thing I do is, so I have and this is a tip for anybody, and I can't remember who, well, I think this might be a Bob Proctor thing actually, but what I do is, like, I've got in the front of my journal and book my desires list, and I'm always adding to that. So every night when I journal my gratitudes, I read the desires list. And I can read it, and that's like the big, you know, well, it can be like big stuff. It'll be like pay the parents' mortgage off, you know, buy the dream home, have a house overlooking the sea, have a global coaching brand, yada, 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 right? Like all of them. But then every night when I do gratitude, so I practice the Pam Grout thing with. So every day I'll do 5 things that I'm thankful for, like little things, or like a client breakthrough, or thing me flowers, or seeing how red the leaves are on the Acer the other day. It only lasts like 48 hours. But it's different things every day. I do 5 of them, and then I say 5 things I'm grateful for that have not happened yet. And generally, so there'll be 5 things. Usually they're about the business, they're about the family, they're about money. So there'll be 5 things. So every night there's 10 things, and 5 of them are usually the same. And then I'll sit and imagine life with those 5 things for 5 minutes. Send love out to the universe.
Like it. Yeah, because I do my gratitude every night without fail.
Say thank you for the things that you have called in, that you've declared, that just haven't yet manifested in physical form. It's a really good way of bringing them through. And when I look at some of the things I was writing this time last year, like they all happened. And then as soon as one of them's done, then I just change it up and add another one in out of the desires list.
I'm just looking at Becky's message, stick them to the back of the bathroom door or the fridge. And absolutely 100%. Love it. Yeah.
Having pop-up reminders in your phone, having those passwords. Like there's so many things you can do just to be surrounded by them.
Yeah.
Caleb's got them. I've got goal cards. Caleb's got a goal card. Like I'm going to have a Nintendo Switch. And it's like, that says go, right? So little does he know Santa's feeling generous this year. So, right, let's wrap it up then, ladies. What I want to say is, though, I got a lovely message the other day. It was in the soul system, which I'm just putting the link in now for anyone that's not in the soul system that's watching this. And somebody said, she's a lady who I massively respect, Nikki. She's just incredible. And she said to me, she said, your space, the soul system, is the first group first a social thing when I do open my phone in the morning that I go to get inspiration and to take part. And like that really touched me, that when you do pick up your phone and you have intention with it, we're the people that you're looking for, or we're the community, as in the soul system, not me, the soul system community. So I just love that. And there's been so much good interaction and support going in there lately. So if you're not in it already, please come and join us. It's such a beautiful place. We have things to make you think every day. And it's lovely.
Such a lovely place,
Right, I'm going to let you all go. Let's have a lovely weekend. Hope you've
enjoyed
coming with us. Yes, screensaver. It's a screensaver. Have a lovely weekend, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.